What is going on, guys? It is Nuclear back here today, and I'm actually doing a tutorial, surprisingly enough. I finally got a little bit of time free, and I'm gonna try and start doing some more videos, some more tutorials and gameplays and whatnot. So today we're just going to do something simple. I'm going to start out doing tutorials more at the simple level, and then I'll eventually move my way up to some more some harder ones. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a hue color change on the Killcam overlay, just to sort of give it a little bit more of a I don't know, it's more of a vibrant feel to it. And if I go over here to my red RC response, you'll see I used it in here as well, and it does a very good job at sort of making it look pretty cool. Just adds that little bit more of a color, and the link to that video will be in the description as well. So as you can see here, I've just got this basically laid out. I haven't done too much. I've just done the basics, and then you guys can sort of branch off from there. So we're gonna get our clip. Obviously it has to be a trick shot or something with a kill cam in it. We're gonna come to the beginning of the kill cam, and we're just gonna use H on our little on our keyboard to move it around. You're just gonna use the scroll wheel and zoom in a bit, not that much. And then you're going to use G on your keyboard to bring up your masking tool. You can also select it up here, and you can also move the hand, get the hand up here. But again, you can see hand tool was H, and pen tool was G. And you're going to hold Shift and click. Try and get it in line with where you can see the actual the overlay. And then come over here to what the name is, and just sort of hold Shift again to keep it a straight line. And you want to mask around the name of the player, just so that it does, because of the fact that there's lots of color here, it sort of distorts the image a little bit when you put the color hue over it. You sort of want to keep that sort of intact while you got the rest of it sort of color changing. So you're gonna come all the way out into the outside. So now we've got our line. We've got our line out, and now you don't really need to care about the outside. It's off screen, so you can't see it. So as you can see, that's done that. Accidentally I forgot to duplicate the layer, so make sure you duplicate the layer, and I don't really have to do much here because I didn't modify the composition in any way. But if I turn this layer off, everything is like that. So we're going to press M on our keyboard with that layer selected. I'm just going to call that mask, and you make sure it's set to add. You need to make sure that the mask is set to add, and we're going to click on the drop down. We're going to get to the mask feather, and you're going to feather it out about 5 pixels or so. You don't want it too high, because obviously as higher you go, it sort of fades away and it's not on the line anymore. But 5 pixels is good because it's still pretty much on the line, and it just sort of like gives it the edge, that little softness, because although you're modifying this footage isn't perfectly sharp and accurate either, so there's still going to be a little bit of softness in the image, so you want to sort of retain that. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this bottom layer back on. We're going to select the top mask layer, and we're going to come up here to the top, and we're going to mask out this here. Now we've got the bottom layer turned on so we can see it, and we've got the mask layer selected so we're actually masking on it. So we'll do that. I'm not going to do this super accurate because it's only a tutorial, but obviously if you're putting this into an actual edit, you're going to obviously make it pretty accurate. The top, you don't have to worry about the round ending kill cam because of the fact that it's white. You don't actually need to worry about masking out, whereas this bottom bit here has got lots of color in it, and you don't really want to mess that up, whereas the white, it sort of pretty much stays white anyway, so there's not much of a problem there. You want to have them both masks set to add, and then you just want to, you can either press F on your keyboard while selecting the mask layer, and it will bring up the feather, or you can just click on the drop down like I did before. You're just going to go through and mask that through to 5 pixels again, and you're going to go and get your color you're gonna search hue for hue and saturation in the effects and presets, and you're just gonna drag that onto the layer. Just zoom in here on this part of the composition. There we go. So you want to come to the start of where you're masking this out. So obviously you don't want to have this mask happening before the kill cam happens, because if you do that, oh, let's not do that. If you do that, it sort of looks a bit weird, because you'll be hueing out. Like if I change the hue here, you've hued out the kill cam layout. Oh, excuse me, before the kill cam actually has started, so it just doesn't look right. So you want to crop that to where the kill cam starts, and then what you're going to do with the kill cam is you're going to come here, you're going to keyframe the color range, go to the end of when you want it to stop, or just a large portion. Obviously this would be cut out in an edit, so it wouldn't really make much of a problem. And you just change your master hue to something you want, so like maybe 25, not 25 turns, degrees, we want 25 turns in total, and as you can see, it changes the color of them. Now, this is somewhat the same coloring. To do separate coloring, you just duplicate the layer, and then you just have different timings so that they're not the same at the same time. But other than that, that's the tutorial right there. That's how you do a kill cam overlay color shift. Anything like that is it's not actually, it gives a lot of color to a edit, especially as long as it sort of matches the song. It looks quite good, and as you can see, the camo here goes green, which kind of looks cool, and especially with the some of the camos in Black Ops 2, like Afterglow and whatnot, it looks really clean. But other than that, if you guys have any other questions, throw them down in the description, and I'll throw the link to my Red RC response in the description as well. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.